What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another football video. Today we're going to be doing my Premier League predictions ahead of Premier League match day number 37, the penultimate match day in the Premier League for the 2023-2024 season. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget as well to go and leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do let me know your predictions, guys, in the comments below. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore, who are going to be keeping you guys up to date with all the latest scores from the Premier League and all the other football games out there worldwide, and also all the other sports that you guys love to go and follow, all in one place, all in one app, very highly rated, and it's free to download. Do go and check it out. Links and details, they are in the description. So, we're going to crack on with this video. We're going to speak about Premier League match day number 36 first and foremost, and have a look at how I did. And I can safely say it's the best performance that I've had in terms of my predictions so far this season. Now, Chelsea won 2-0 against Spurs last Thursday. Wasn't part of Premier League match day number 36, so I didn't do my predictions for that. However, it is a fixture that's happened since we last did a video, so Chelsea won that game by 2-0. So, match day 36 started off on Friday, 3rd of May, with Luton Town taking on Everton. I had that down as a 1-1 draw, and that's going to keep Everton safe, and that's exactly what happened. So, a big green tick there. On to May 4th, we had Arsenal taking on Bournemouth. I had that down as a 4-1 win for Arsenal. Finished 3-0, so we get a correct result there. Brentford taking on Fulham. I had that down as a 0-0. Spot on again, another green tick there. It stunk of a 0-0, didn't it? I said that last week. It's exactly what happened. I had a 2-1 victory for Newcastle away against Burnley. Finished 4-1 to Newcastle. Burnley now near enough, looking like they're going to be relegated. Sheffield United taking on Nottingham Forest. I had that down as a 2-1 Nottingham Forest win. Finished 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, so wasn't a million miles away with that one either. A big win that for Nottingham Forest. Then in the final game, you had Manchester City taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers. I had that down as a 2-0 solid City win. City went on to win the game 5-1, so as you were at the top there with City and Arsenal going toe-for-toe, and City gaining 1 goal difference there on Arsenal. Now on Sunday, May 5th, you had Brighton taking on Aston Villa. I had that down as a 2-1 Villa win, finished 1-0 to Brighton, and so it does keep the gate open for Spurs to potentially get Champions League football. They need results to go in their favours, and they need to win every single game between now and the end of the season. And they're also facing a big obstacle of, if they do want Champions League football, that they're going to have to beat Manchester City, which you would think, if that does happen, could well hand Arsenal the Premier League title. Do Tottenham want to be that team that helps Arsenal do that? That's the question. I know what the fans' answers are going to be, but it's not the fans that decide the result. It's the players on the pitch, and they'll be playing. If there's things to go at in that game in hand, which is happening on Tuesday, then, yeah, they're going to try and make that happen. So, big Premier League match day coming up in terms of permutations going into these games in hand, and also permutations on the Premier League title. You had Chelsea taking on West Ham. I had that down as a 3-1 Chelsea win. Chelsea won by 5-0. West Ham coincidentally have announced that David Moyes' contract is up at the season, isn't going to be renewed. So David Moyes is going to be the next Premier League manager casualty. And then you had Spurs taking on Liverpool away from home, with Liverpool winning that game at Anfield by 2 goals. I had that down as a 2-1 win. It finished 4-2 to Liverpool. Liverpool were 4-0 up, and it took Spurs to go 4-0 down before they started to play, to start to make things happen. And once they did, didn't look too bad final 10-15 minutes of the game, but rest of the game, yeah, just nowhere near. And then on May 6th, I had that down as a 2-1 Palace win, finished 4-0 to Crystal Palace. Man United just all over the place there. Terrible result for them. A great result that for Crystal Palace, and me as a City fan, it's things you love to see. So 2 correct scores, 7 correct results, and 1 incorrect. My best performance yet. Grading myself 7 out of 10. It leaves Arsenal top of the Premier League. They're a point clear of City, with City having that game in hand against Spurs on Tuesday. City are going first in this Premier League match day number 37 against Fulham away from home. So City will have the chance for 24 hours or so to go top of the Premier League. Arsenal, to go back top, would need a point at Old Trafford, but just a point means Man City can afford to drop points against Spurs. So Arsenal needing to win that game at Old Trafford. Liverpool still in the title race. That's probably going to come to an end this weekend for them. Aston Villa, they know that they are just one win away from Champions League football, and they're taking on Liverpool at home on Monday night, and that game may have no meaning for Liverpool whatsoever. They'll have secured Champions League football, won't be able to win the title, so if Villa do win that game, then it closes that gate for Spurs to get Champions League football, and it'd be within their fans' best interest for Spurs to go and lose that game against City to more or less hand Man City the Premier League title. Looking down the table, Manchester United, if they're wanting European football, going to be needing to beat Arsenal this weekend. A loss for Manchester United is going to be devastating, in particular if you see wins for Newcastle and Chelsea. All of a sudden, Europa Conference League becomes difficult for Man United to do, and so their best bet may be to try and beat Man City in the FA Cup final. Down at the bottom, Everton, of course, are safe. Brentford are safe as well. Nottingham Forest now looking good, better goal difference, 3 points clear of Luton, and we could see potentially Burnley and Luton both relegated this weekend as well. We can't see any team crowned champions of the Premier League this weekend. For Arsenal, situation's very clear. They've got to go to Old Trafford and win. They drop points, and Man City win against Fulham, and Man City win against Spurs. Man City are Premier League champions. So Arsenal, it's a point of no return for them. It's a big game for them, and City want to try and get the business done nice and early. Going first moves us on to Premier League match day number 37 in that early kickoff on the 11th of May on Saturday, live on TNT Sports with a 12:30 PM BST kickoff time. I can't see anything other than a Manchester City win. City look like they're just finding their stride very nicely, so I'm going for a clean sheet for City and a 2-0 comprehensive win, and puts all pressure onto Arsenal in that match at Old Trafford, which on paper, with how things are going, you would expect Arsenal to go to Old Trafford because quite frankly, they've got a better squad with a manager that's performing much better, and all round just Arsenal's it's clicking for them, and it's not clicking for United. So from my point of view right now, I'd be surprised if Arsenal didn't win at Old Trafford. My expectation is that they are going to win, and that's how you win Premier League titles. You just expect your opponents always to win, so you've got to have it in your own hands. That's what City have done. So win against Fulham, focus on that, move on to the match against Spurs, and watch that game between United and Arsenal with interest, knowing that it's a win-win. Either Man United drop points and it's funny, or Arsenal drop points and Man City, if they win this weekend, near enough Premier League champions. Anyway, on to the 3pms. You've got Bournemouth taking on Brentford, throwing another 0-0 out there, going for Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. You've got Everton taking on Sheffield United. Everton already safe, Sheffield United already relegated, going for a 2-0 Everton win. At St James's Park, you've got Newcastle taking on Brighton. I'm going for a 2-0 Newcastle win, as they're looking to try and get a Europa League place for next season. You've got Tottenham Hotspur taking on Burnley, going for a 2-1 narrow Spurs win. Won't be easy, will relegate Burnley. Spurs just trying to keep that outside chance of making Champions League football alive there. And then you've got West Ham taking on Luton, put a big result out there, going for a 2-1 Luton Town win against West Ham. West Ham just look gone, so Luton do pick up 3 points then, puts pressure onto Nottingham Forest in that evening game against Chelsea at home. You've also got Wolves taking on Crystal Palace. I was going to put this down as a 0-0, but I put a winner out there. I'm going 1-0 for Wolves. And in the final game, you've got Forest taking on Chelsea. Chelsea, they're very hit and miss, aren't they? When they're playing and they're playing well, they seem like a very decent team, and they click really, and they gel and click really well. And when they win comfortably and they score goals. And then at other times when they're not on it, they're just not on it, and they're just not very good. Inconsistent, as I said, but I found over the last couple of months I started to find that consistency a little bit more, so I think that's going to continue. I'm going for a big curveball, 2-0 Chelsea win here, so a win for Luton, a loss for Nottingham Forest means all to play for going into the final game when it comes to that final relegation spot, with me expecting Burnley to be relegated this weekend. And then on to the match on Sunday, I'm going for a 2-2 draw, and I think it's a huge result that for Manchester City, isn't it? I can see Man United scoring, I can see Arsenal scoring. My expectation is Arsenal win, so maybe I'm putting a bit of hope there, but it's going to Old Trafford. It's not the easiest of matches, and of course, looking at the schedule, you're thinking to yourself, well, Arsenal will be thinking, City have got to go to Spurs. On paper, it looks like quite a difficult game, and we're thinking the same. They've got to go to United. Old Trafford, on paper, quite a difficult game. Arsenal have got to do a really good performance to be able to win that game. So I'm going 2-2, why not? And then on Monday night, you've got Villa taking on Liverpool. Again, putting another curveball out there, going for a 2-1 Liverpool win. And I think if Arsenal drop points against Manchester United, and it gives Man City a little bit of leeway, and Liverpool do win against Aston Villa, Man City can afford not to beat Tottenham Hotspur. We can afford to lose that game and still win the Premier League. That's the position that we find ourselves in. So we'll see what happens with that game in hand. As I said, on Tuesday, it's a huge game. Spurs taking on City, 8 p.m. live on Sky Sports. On Wednesday, you've got Brighton taking on Chelsea, 7:45 p.m. kickoff time. And you've also got Manchester United taking on Newcastle at 8 p.m. That game live on Sky Sports as well. And that'll take everybody up to 37 games played and 1 game to go for next weekend. So I will see you guys again for my Premier League predictions one more time next weekend. So I'll see you then. So if you did enjoy this video, do leave a thumbs up. Do let me know your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Finally, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. I'll see you all again real soon for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.